mean that you are not smart. It clearly does not mean that you are not trying from your side. Yes, you're honestly doing the best you can and hello everyone. Hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to Be Your Own Influencer. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to deal with disappointment. Before we understand how to deal with disappointment, let's understand what is disappointment. Disappointment is a feeling that is experienced by anyone if things are not happening according to them, if they are dealing with rejections or failures. Anyone can go through with this feeling. So, such as if you have been failed in any particular exam, if you are not getting a job, if you want to start a new business and if your proposal has been rejected, if you want to work on a new project and you have been rejected, so you can deal with this feeling known as disappointment. Now let's talk about how to deal with disappointment. So, the first step to deal with disappointment is to understand that it is okay to not to be okay. It is completely and totally okay and completely acceptable to deal with this feeling of disappointment. Because something has happened with you that it is so difficult for you to take. If you have been rejected, it is not an easy thing for you to deal with. So you need to understand that you must and should not suppress this feeling of sadness, feeling of disappointment. You must and should try to acknowledge this feeling, whatever you are going through. So, the first step is to not to suppress your feelings and emotions regarding disappointment and try to acknowledge this feeling and try to understand this feeling in a better way. You can talk to a psychologist, a trusted friend, or a family member who could help you to deal with this feeling in a better way. Now, the second step is to understand that you must and should not doubt yourself if you're dealing with disappointment. You need to know that you are doing the best you can. Yes, if you have been rejected, it clearly does not mean that you are not smart. It clearly does not mean that you are not trying from your side. Yes, you're honestly doing the best you can and you're really smart just the way you are. Maybe you need to try things in a different way or in a more creative way, which is next step to deal with disappointment. So the next step to deal with disappointment is to be creative with yourself, is to get creative with yourself. Sometimes things are not doing about more or less. We have always been told or taught at some given point of time that you should always be hardworking, you should always do more than your capacity, should always do more than required. Maybe it is not like that. Maybe you need to know what is that you're not doing correctly, what is that you're not doing right. So you need to do things in a right way, in a right manner, in a way that works out for you. So you need to know that what is that works out for you. And if you want to understand what works out for you, the best way to understand is to consult a psychologist, consult a mentor who can help you to deal with disappointment in a better way and to understand what works out for you. Yeah. Suppose if you are receiving like rejections back to back and back to back, maybe there is something you're not doing right. And what is that? You need to know. Then, the last step to deal with disappointment is to understand that this is not the end of the world. This is not going to stay forever. This is not going to be permanent and this shall too pass. So, you need to have a little bit patience. You need to know that it is okay to deal with disappointment. Yeah. So this is not the end of the world. And transition is keeps on happening. Every one of us in this world has to go through transition, and something great is definitely going to happen with you as well. So these are the few steps. So what we have talked about in today's video to deal with disappointment is to understand that it is totally okay to not to be okay. Then to understand that you must and should not doubt yourself under any circumstances. Then thirdly is to do things in a more creative way, and if needed to consult a psychologist or a mentor. Then lastly, I have mentioned that this is not the end of the world. So I hope today's video will be helpful for you to deal with disappointment in a better way. Thank you so much for staying until the end, and thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, and do not forget to subscribe, and have a great day.